Hey guys!
How's it, guys?
Welcome to the 404, the show where we keep you entertained while we game. And we're not doing any gaming tonight. Yeah, that's not. We're going to try our hand at something else because we're so poor at gaming. We thought, why not do something more fun? And we actually got a challenge. It came in from Glitched headquarters. This was an interesting one. Marco from Glitched said, listen guys, I've had this computer for some time in this specific case that he has. And he said to us, but I got a new case. Yeah, and it's a very nice case from NZXT. It's the 510 Elite, if anybody knows. You'll be seeing it soon, don't worry. And he was like, listen guys, I'm not the best PC builder, but I've heard that you at the 404, which is me and Brendan, are the best at PC building, which is a blatant lie.
Yeah, that's not the best. We've built a few PCs in our lives, but not the best.
We're not the best, But we're going to show you, it's not the idiot's guide to building a PC, but we're going to just show you an overview of how to build a PC from scratch. It's technically not building it from scratch. We're moving it, it's called a migration. We're moving from one box to another. Super exciting. And we're also going to be just showing off the new NZXT 510 Elite, which has got very cool features that we're excited to show you about. It's an awesome case.
Fantastic.
Especially for that price.
Which is awesome.
Oh, is that the awesome?
No, it just looks cool because like every case has always been like black with the red colors and all that stuff. So now it's like, it's elite. Brendan's
got a thing for white because his dream build that he's still doing
is it's like white, grey, and like blue lights. I've had a black PC with red lights for the past 12 years.
Yeah. This is confessions on the 404 about our PCs. So we're super excited to do this, and we're just going to check who's in the comments here. We got Marco watching. How's Marco? Thanks so much for watching. We've got Dustin. Dustin's there. We're going to check out YouTube for you guys now. Drop your comments below if you've got any questions about PC building, if you've got anything that you want to ask about the case, about what we're doing and how we're doing it, then
questions about PC building in general.
In general, and all the console guys out there, we're not excluding you, so just tell us, chat to us.
We don't know how to build consoles.
We don't. Yeah, that's exactly it. No, or chip them. I shouldn't have said that.
Cool. So Marco came to drop off
this case, of his, and you're going to check it out now.
Which is actually not a bad PC.
It isn't.
Which I'm going to just start disassembling because we kind of need to
get into it.
Start the unboxing.
Okay, cool. So let me do that. So there's the old case, and over here is the new case. Dun dun dun! There it all is. That's super exciting. NZXT, like we said, it's the matte white and black H510 Elite mid tower. So if you're looking at what boards fit in here, you got your micro ATX and your ATX board. It doesn't do eATX, which is the extended ones, the big ones. So if you've got an extended ATX board, it's not going to fit. But it's a very nice case, as you can see from the front. And I'm going to actually now, I might need your help with this because this is a terrible idea. We're going to unbox it here live on the 404. We're super excited.
Hey guys, honestly, this is the first.
Oh, I'm going to do my Darren's unboxing. Watch here.
Oh, you just.
There we go. Trinium Chop, unboxing PCs all day, every day. There I am.
Guys, we were planning on test fitting everything, which is probably the way we should have done it.
Yeah, we should have, yes, yeah.
But we thought it would be more exciting if we see the case for the first time live. So we haven't actually seen this case at all. So this is going to be the first. So
this is it. So let's put it.
This is the bottom. Let me take it.
That's the bottom. Okay, and that's the top.
Yeah, I'll lift up.
Cool. And I'm just gonna, and we're gonna chat you through what you need to do for PC building and all the tools that you need in a second. I just want to get the goodness out the way for all the people who just wanted to come and see the NZXT case. Cool. So obviously plastic. Now, guys, we didn't really come prepared. I'll be honest with you, because when you build a PC, no matter what, and it's a very good practice to have, is to buy yourself an anti-static bracelet. That's very important, because if there's any electrical or static discharge onto PC components, what you can get is a fried anything, basically. Motherboard, graphics card, RAM, you can damage it because electrical discharge is not what components like. So it's very important to do that. If you do not have an anti-static bracelet, as example A and B, what you can do is ensure that when building, you're always touching the case or something that is grounded. So you are constantly discharging that static electricity from your body. Okay, so here's the case, guys, in all its glory. I'm gonna hold it up. I worked hard in the gym today, so I can pick this guy up. It's very nice, tempered glass side panel. And oh, I'm gonna have the honors of doing this. I'm so excited. Yes. Oh yes. Oh, the goodness. There we go. So this is tempered glass side panel. Very nice finish on the white. Like I said, it's like a matte finish. So it's not very shiny. Let me just check it out. If we look at the front, tempered glass front panel. You can actually pull this one off if you want.
That's a very nice case.
Go for it. The honor's yours.
The honor.
Okay.
I'll do the nice slow one for you guys.
There we go. There it is.
That is the most thing ever.
Oh goodness.
Now we're going to get this all full of fingerprints.
There we go. Yes. So as soon as you pull off that, which you shouldn't actually do in the beginning because you're going to get it all full of fingerprints, like we said. But here it is, all the tempered glass, and in front there, 2 140mm fans. Very nice. It comes standard with the case, and I think we get extra. So that's 2 140s. I swear we got extra. So it looks like it's only 2 140mm. Oh, and a standard 120 at the back for exhaust. And let me just show you the back side. That's not where the goods are. There we go. Pretty simple. And if we're looking at this guy over here, let me actually just remove that. We've got quite a bit of expansion slots available for your PCI Express slots. Your power supply is bottom mounted, not top, which is pretty cool. And then you've also got sideways mounts for graphics cards as well. Side mounts, so here's a side mount that you can actually put in any
It allows
PCI
you
Express.
to mount your graphics cards vertically, so you can see the underside and the fans.
That's it.
And everything, which just looks awesome.
Okay, so now that the case is out of the way, we're not going to look at that for the moment. So I'm going to take it off the table. I'm sorry for all those people. Watch, everyone's just going to tune out now. It's going to be like, right, we're done. Tyron's watching. How's the Tyron? Thanks so much for tuning in. So, guys, why do we need to build a PC? What's important? Besides your anti-static bracelet, we need a bunch of tools. So we've got our bunch of tools here. It's our tool set. It's the tool set of awesomeness. It's just, I slaved hard making these tools. So,
Ideally, you'd want like an iFixit kit, which in my opinion is like the best
in the world.
PC building set ever, and they have online tutorials for almost anything.
That's true.
Mac laptops,
PC,
any electronics.
Yeah, anything from RAM changing, graphics cards, to even changing your CPU. So the other thing that we need is more tools, because why not? We don't have an iFixit kit, so we got Darren's I broke it kit. So here it is. And the other thing that you're going to need is some thermal paste when moving components across. We might not need it, depending on if we're going to pull the CPU cooler off. If you are going to pull the CPU cooler off the CPU itself, definitely make sure you have thermal paste to reapply, because you cannot use the same paste again after pulling off a CPU cooler. Okay, so that's basically what you need. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
And some awesome containers, which you actually need some of for your screws and stuff. So
that's very true. We might need to put the case back up and run through the specs while you're still doing that, I think. Hey?
I think
that's a good idea. Okay, cool. So let's jump straight on back to the glorious case, because no one likes seeing my face, which is fine. That's okay. You see me enough when we game.
I have to deal with it. You guys don't.
Okay, cool. So over here we have the NZXT case, and I'm going to use my phone to make sure I don't bugger up the specs. But what we're also going to do is we're going to put the specs on the screen for you at the bottom that you can read along. I'm just going to go into them with a bit more detail. Okay, so let's quickly start with the case itself. Okay, there they are, all nice. Okay, so there's a cable management section at the back behind the motherboard tray, which is really cool for people who are building PCs. You know that. That's vitally important. There's, like we said, a vertical GPU mount that you can mount the GPU vertically, which is pretty darn awesome. You can do a front radiator of 60 mils and a rear radiator 60 millimeter as well, and reservoir pump up to 180 mils, guys. So this can have water cooling inside it, which is very nice. Like I said before, it does mini RTX, it does micro ATX and ATX boards, not eATX. So if you're looking for extended ATX boards, this is not the case for you. But NZXT have a lot of other cases that do support eATX, so go and check out their range. Then front panel I/O, which is on the front here, actually. You can't see it, it's on top. Well, if we cut to the top camera, we might be able to see it. I'm going to wait for that. So yeah, on the top there, we actually have, starting from this side, we have one USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C. We got a Gen 1 Type A. Yeah, that is awesome. We got a headphone jack, okay, and the power button sitting on top there. So that's pretty cool. Inside we have USB 3.1 Gen 2 internal headers, Gen 1 internal headers, USB 2.0 internal header, and an HD audio header. That will be inside here, the cables that run inside. Okay, Then we got filters on all air intakes, which are amazing because anybody knows the biggest killer of electronic components are dust and heat. So if you can minimize dust coming into your case, you're winning. Then we got smart devices. We got 3 times fan channels with max of 10 watts per channel output. So we actually got fan channels because these are RGB fans and they allow us to control them. There's also 2 times RGB LED channels. Each support up to 4 U and 2 addressable LED strips, or 5 times AR RGB2 fans, which are part of NZXT's lineup and their fan controller, which is pretty cool, and comes with the case itself, so that's really cool. Like we said, coming to fans themselves, what you get inside is 2 times integrated AR RGB 2 140mm fans. Those are the ones on the front. Sorry if this is all jargon to people who don't know PCs, because I'm rambling off all the specs. And then 1 times integrated addressable, 1 times integrated addressable LED strip, guys. So you actually got an LED strip built in here, which is very nice. Gives it a nice glow along the side. I think it's on the side of the panel. That's normally where it is. And then no one can see this, and it doesn't say in the specs, but it does have a 120mm fan at the back, which is quite cool. Like we said, we've got 2 slots, vertical GPU mounts, which is quite nice as well. And then radiators, like we said, 2 times 140mm or 2 times 120mm with pull, so you can put push pull or pull. And you need to remove the RGB fans if you plan to mount the radiator in the front rear, it says. So that's 1 times 120mm. So that's interesting. So there might be a little bit of configuration needed if you are looking at putting radiator cooling inside this guy. Okay, and that's pretty much it. It also comes with a 2-year warranty, which is pretty darn amazing for a case, I will not lie. Most cases normally come with a 1 year, so that means they believe in their product, and it is very cool. I want one.
Also want.
Okay, how's it going that side? Brendan, tell us what you're doing.
Good. I just need to take the motherboard out.
Cool, we're going to move this over so you can see what Brendan's doing. Yes.
Do you want to just clear some space?
Let's clear some space. I'm going to keep this one on the side so you can still see it in all its glory where the computer's going to. So now, guys, just to let you know, we've got 2 hours to do this. Obviously, that's our stream time. And
are we trying to fly through this as fast as possible?
Yeah, we're trying to fly through a little bit faster than normal. Checking all the comments. Taran's like, what's up, guys? Ryan Cinnamon's there. How's it, Ryan? Thanks so much. Once again, guys, let us know your comments. Generic YouTube meme says, listen, the best way to build a PC is right after you jump on a trampoline with socks. Then you can power the PC with your hands. I like that. John Theo says, what do you think of a budget gaming PC is going to cost here in SA? What do you think of budget gaming PC? So a budget gaming PC, it's a good question. It could cost your most expensive components of a PC. It doesn't have to be, but it's normally the graphics card, because that is for gaming, your most vitally important part. So I would say a budget PC could probably come in around 8 grand. You could probably get a nice PC up and going for 8 grand. If you're willing to buy second hand, then you have a lot more options. So the second hand market is quite big, and anybody out there will know where to go. If you don't, Carbonite.co.za is a fantastic place.
Fantastic website. Wow.
For anything second hand, and it's very, very awesome in terms of safety of buyers and sellers, so you won't have any problems there. So second hand, I'd say you could pick up one for even cheaper. You could pick up like a really decent PC for like 8 grand, no lies. The only thing that also costs a little bit is your peripherals and screen. If you're just talking about box, I think 8 grand's a good mark. Looking at something like the new AMD Ryzen lineup,
I think it's a good option to go Ryzen.
It is
nowadays, especially with Ryzen. What is it, 3?
Ryzen 3 is amazing. Yeah. Everyone who bought 2 is kicking themselves now, unfortunately. Okay, so what we're currently doing, Brendan, is removing all the screws on the motherboard, which are basically...
You're having some stubborn screws.
You're having some stubborn screws. So what happens is, what you need to do, don't stress, that is out. So what I'll do for you is...
We need to do those.
There we go. Small hands equals easier. So here goes Dirty D inside the board.
Dirty D, no, it's 20M chop.
20M chop, sorry. That's my work name. Okay, so what? We need to do all the rest up top as well?
I think I've disconnected almost everything.
Yeah, everything's disconnected, which is vitally important. All the power connectors to the motherboard. There is, if you're looking at the motherboard, guys, let me just quickly walk you through it. Up top here is your 8-pin connector. well, it's actually 2 4s equals 1 8 for your CPU. Then at the side here is your biggest connector. It's the 24-pin power cable running along the right-hand side. What other motherboards sometimes have as well is a SATA connector to supply more power, or dual 8 pins if it's something like a 2011E or a 2066 board that needs a lot of power.
You don't always actually need this. It's only if to power these, to provide extra power to the VRMs.
Yes.
Especially if you're overclocking your CPU.
Yes, that is correct. Because the 24-pin can technically supply for the whole board. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just taking off these last screws, making sure that we...
Guys, I think to save time, we're going to leave the RAM and CPU in.
Okay, yes, I agree, because we want to try and get this done on time. Just want to see
Marco needs his gaming PC.
Yes, he does. Okay, that's good. We're not going to break anything because Marco is watching us take apart his PC.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. And he would prefer us not to break anything. I promise you, we have built a PC before. Okay.
Let me check the comments.
Go for it. Comments. Oh, there's lots of comments coming in there.
Sweet.
I'll see.
We've read that. Taryn says, "What's up, guys? Those are nice tools."
Thank
talking
you.
about us or the screwdrivers?
What's
the specs of the PC that you're building / rebuilding now? We are actually not too sure. Marco just kind of gave it to us and was like,
build.
please, I needed a new case. I know that there is a GTX 970. That's a graphics card. I would presume 16 gigs of HyperX RAM.
Yes,
And
that's
probably
true.
an i7. Don't know which gen processor.
Yeah, it
We'll have a look when we
be
get it
5th
set
or
up
6th gen.
and running.
Okay, yeah, these screws are being very stubborn. So now I'm going to have to break out the way we do this, the old school way. So we lift up this guy. Oh, there we go. There goes all the screws that came out, which is good. So what we're going to do now, guys, is because this board actually is giving us issues, what we need to do, this happens quite often. There's standoff screws on the back of every case that lift the motherboard away from the case itself. So it's still grounded, but it's not touching metal on metal. So the problem with that is they sometimes, when you're unscrewing screws, come loose. So what you can actually do is go to the back, as you can see over here that I'm doing. You can go to the back and screw them from this side out. It kind of sucks, but you know what will help me is...
Can I just say that this NZXT case
is well thought out.
Swing out doors, which is awesome.
It's got everything you need, guys, literally.
Leave that
So I'm gonna do the good old.
And try not to cut any wires while you're doing this.
Yes. Oh no. This is flat screwdrivers, guys, not side cutters. But yeah, this board is not happy.
Move this tower a little bit in so the viewers can see.
Yes, you can do.
Guys, actually, while Darren's doing that, we're a bit short-staffed today, so I'm going to be cameraman and PC builder.
Just need to make sure. Now, did Brendan show you, because he just went wild here, he didn't even show you what we're putting all the screws into, which is very important. Sure, getting this guy off is destroying my life, which it shouldn't do. So yes, so let's quickly see.
So are those just cable ties holding the motherboard in?
That's correct.
Okay.
So I'm just turning the screw to get this guy out. Not the ideal way of doing it, but unfortunately these ones have come a bit loose. Okay. That one's out, and we just need this guy out. It'll be good.
All right.
Can I ask a favor?
Yes.
Can you hold the back of the screw at the top there?
Surely.
And then I will
Want to
unscrew
turn
this.
this sideways so we can do it?
Yes, we can. Cool. Okay.
Which screw?
The top screw here, that one.
Yeah,
So you just need to hold that bit, and then I can unscrew
Got it.
this. Got it?
Yeah. So these are the standoffs that hold the motherboard up.
Yeah. There we go. Winner, Baba! Cool. Okay, so now the motherboard's out. So let's put it nicely down. Carefully, so we don't damage anything. Okay, cool. So now that we're back up here, guys, we've got the motherboard disconnected from the actual back of the PC, and we're going to take it out.
There's a stand off there. I'll
Yeah.
get that off for you.
Cool, we're going to get the stands off, and we're going to actually take all of them out now, just so we have everything. Okay, cool. So the next part that we need to disassemble from this guy is the drives. So the drives over here are very important just to get out, and we're going to then look at bringing out all the SATA cables over here, the power supply over here, and any other power cables that are coming from the power supply. I'm just going to stop quickly and read some comments. We've got... Oh, what are the specs of the PC? AMD also had the X470 and X570 motherboards with 2x 8 pins for CPU just to give extra overclocking headroom. That is correct. That yellow toolkit is the one I got as part of the old A+ course. Ha! Thanks, Henro. The brain. I like it. Yeah, I got mine from PC International. There we go. Okay, cool. Ryzen 3200G. Did you read that one?
Didn't know.
You didn't? Okay, so you're asking about the Ryzen. It's okay. The 3200 is not bad. That is an entry-level gaming CPU. But yeah, like I say, most of the Ryzen lineup is great. It's actually really, really fantastic. So you can't go wrong.
I shall be back now.
No problem. Okay, so I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to lift the PC up for now. Let's jump in here, and going to take out all of these drives and screws that are holding that in. So let's do that. Cool. One, and trusted toolkit. Pretty much one screwdriver takes out everything in a case. There's not really many screws that are smaller than your standard Phillips head screwdriver. Okay. Let's quickly, while I'm at the back here, I'm going to detangle all of this cable management that was neatly done by Marco. He's probably looking at me cringing, because this is the part that takes the longest actually in a build, is all of your cable management. So I'm going to undo all of this cable management with the handy help of side cutters, guys. When using side cutters, be very careful. Don't be stupid, because if you cut any of your wires, it's pretty much a mission to fix. Not to say you can't fix it. It's just you don't really want to have that on your conscience after building a PC, because then it's going to take longer to have your dream machine up and running.
So guys, just note, I just went off camera to quickly get something to put the motherboard and everything on that's not static. So yeah. Best thing to do is, if you're getting a new PC, let me talk this out so I'm more in camera.
You do that.
Getting a new PC, take your motherboard box that it comes in. Try put everything on that. That's a great anti-static thing. And what you should do is actually, with new parts, just test build your motherboard on the motherboard box, and power it on, see that no hardware is broken.
Because sometimes you do get DOA, which is dead on arrival parts, which means it came out of the factory, and unfortunately it's
I've had a
dead.
motherboard arrive like that.
Yeah,
And
I've had RAM.
spent many days troubleshooting, and eventually I gave up. Had to eat my pride and went to the PC shop, and they're like, yeah,
It's broken. Which kind of sucks, because you just pray and hope it's never that, but then it is. Okay, so we're going to take out the power supply out of the bottom here. Sorry, I'm down on the floor. Is it on top of all the cables? Okay, just removing the screws at the back here where the power supply is. I'll show you how to put together a computer as soon as all of this has been disassembled.
Cool.
Properly.
And we'll go,
talk you through it. Yeah.
And we'll talk you through it nice and slowly.
Step by step. Things to watch out for.
You're going to need this IO shield as well.
Yep, we are indeed, because and we'll teach you what that actually is in a second. One more screw, and I'm being a baddie. I'm not putting my screws where I should. That's why we have these, so you can put screws neatly in them, keep containers, and separate the screws for the different parts of the PC.
IO shield.
Fantastic. And let's see, the last thing we need to do over here, and just make sure, guys, when pulling out power supply cables, don't just yank them. The Molex connectors on each side can pull right off. So just
you're going to have a fun time putting them back on.
Yeah, like we said, it is doable, but just not what you want to do. So when disassembling or removing anything, do it slowly. If it's getting stuck, see what it's actually getting stuck on before just yanking. Cool. Okay, I think that's everything. And out goes the snake of cables, which is Marco's power supply. This is what is known as a non-modular power supply, which means all the cables are connected to the power supply itself and cannot be detached. So you get fully modular power supplies, which means the brick power supply comes by itself with different connections on the front for each of your cables, and you can connect just the cables you need. That's the benefit of a modular power supply.
That's fantastic. And then you can also you can go to like Cable Mod and buy sleeved braided cables
in whatever
and
color
replace
you
them
want.
easily. You don't have to re-sleeve these guys.
Yeah, in whatever color you want for your build. So that's quite exciting. But for now, that's the power supply we're using. So we're going to shift it across to this side with all our stuff.
Yeah, mustn't lose screws here.
Not losing screws, trying not to lose screws, but we don't need to worry about those screws, guys, because inside this case there'll be a box of screws that come with it, which is quite exciting. So we're going to open up this guy. It's got swing away doors, which is
fantastic.
Except, does it really?
Well,
on this side, how do we get this guy out? Oh, it's got the glass panel that comes out here.
Yeah, covering with finger marks already. Love it.
Okay, this is an interesting way of doing this.
Hilton, did you read this comment?
Cool.
Be very careful with tempered glass. Guys, I don't know if you know, so tempered glass, if that shatters, it doesn't just crack, it doesn't just break into pieces, it breaks into millions and millions of tiny little shards of glass.
Yes, that go everywhere.
Yeah.
And then a problem.
Hilton Morat, did you read his comment? Good evening, guys.
Evening.
Hope all are well. This is very interesting to watch. Cable management is very difficult when you have a 100% Perspex case. My dad and I built it on our own. That's awesome.
That's awesome, except kind of sucks because you can see everything. Yes, I know. Personally, used to take drills and all the rest and create like the perfect cable management.
I'm just glad. Let me say that this has tempered glass only on one side, because I have a case of tempered glass on both sides, and that is the worst, absolute worst for cable management.
That's very true. And as I promised, here are the screws for the case. So do we need to worry about the ones that we took out? Not really, but we do want to keep that neatly aside if Marco wants to sell his case. It is nice to sell all your stuff with all the screws included, so someone doesn't have to go and find some. Okay, cool. So now we're going to slow down a little bit. Sorry, that was a bit of a rush to get it to this stage where we've got the new case ready for all of the components and all of the old components out of the old case. Okay, so now we're going to take it one step at a time and show you how you build a PC. Building a PC by two idiots.
That's a more apt description.
That is more apt, I believe, yes.
Let me see what's in here.
We got Sarah watching, as it says. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can watch us build a PC. It's super exciting. Okay, cool. So, over here, very nice. I think we're going to... The first thing I normally do when I get a new case is strip it bare. So...
Yeah.
So,
don't get too excited.
I won't. Okay, cool. So over here, guys, you can see at the back, I just wanted to show you the cable management runs that we actually get here.
Which is fantastic.
Which
nice
is
little channels. Oh, I dig this, actually.
It's super cool. So it's all channeled. You can run your cables down. Here's your SSD mounts, and here's your controller for your fans, which is pretty cool. I'm a fan of this.
That is the...
worst dad joke ever.
Smart... I'm going to get this wrong, but it's a Smart something 2, which is an LED. It has LED channels and everything. We went through the specs earlier on in the video.
Yes, it's super smart. Smarter than me. Okay, so what we have over here, like I said, is all of that. And here's your cables coming from the top shield, okay, and power button. I don't actually see where the reset button was. It might not have one. Some cases don't have reset buttons at all, just to let you know. Okay, but yeah, so what I normally do with the case, I've stripped it bare, both sides off, so I can see everything and how things are going to work. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay it now flat on top of the table. Okay.
What would you like first, the motherboard?
Yes, please. So we're going to start with the motherboard. And we need, when we start, guys, the best thing to do when you get a new PC, let's say you're building from scratch, is, like Brendan said, to take out the motherboard, to put it on the box, to test all your components. We are hoping and praying that Marco didn't deliver us a broken PC.
It was working. I did check it.
You did check it, okay.
Please, can you help me take these little
standoffs off? Cool. So that one's off. That screws out. Cool. And we're going to need these, but we're going to use the new ones, so I'm holding them. Go for it. No, need to hold with a bit tighter. Where's the pliers? There's he.
Yes.
The pliers. Cool. We're just going to take these guys off and go for it.
Cool.
Cool. Fantastic. So these are the standoff screws. I might put them here. I'll put them somewhere, or yeah, that's them. The standoff screws are amazing camera work there by Technical. Thank you very much. So those are the standoff screws we're talking about that need to go onto where specifically you're going to put the motherboard. Now this depends on the motherboard that you're putting inside the case. Micro ATX or mini RTX or ATX boards have different basically riser points at the back that you're supposed to put in on the case. Now this one looks like, if you look back on the top view, we actually have standoffs already built in. So we're going to see the best thing I do when it comes to this. Like I said, we've tested the board, and now I'm actually just going to remove this so we don't damage that. The best thing to do now is to actually, you know what I'm going to do, guys? Like I said, I like stripping my cases bare, and this is because, not because I like naked cases, it's more because it's easier to work.
Space to work.
Yeah, space to work, especially back fans. The problem with the back fan, it takes up a lot of space. And yeah. Okay, so we got Rayat Ramtahal. Sorry if I butchered your name. He says, Maki, are we hoping you'll get a 2080 Ti soon or not? I don't know if we're speaking to someone in the comments.
Mark? Is he not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, go for it.
If you get one.
Ti is amazing.
yeah.
I upgraded recently to 2080 and I will never look back. That thing's amazing.
Yeah, RTX for the win. Okay, so what we have here, the problem is it's got a little bit of cable management happening.
Can I just say, those little clips, you can't see them, but those little clips for cable management is a lifesaver when you're trying to make a case look nice.
Yeah, it's got, look, and even this whole fan run, look at the back here. It's got even a fan run that you can run all your cables where you want them to go. Unfortunately, I'm ripping this all out, but we'll do it again. Okay, and that's all connected now to the fan controller over here with RGB channels.
Nice.
So I'm going to just undo this for now, just so we can have this nice and neat and we're not yanking the fans. Okay, fantastic. Cool, nice and neat. So there we go, that's the back fan out. That would have just gone into the fan controller for speed. Okay, so now...
Guys, you should never spin your fan like that, because it does damage the motor.
It does. If you're spinning it the same way, it's okay. But you don't spin the opposite way.
Yeah, it has little arrows on the fins
to show you. Okay, so Hilton, you guys won't believe my specs. I'm still old school. Fantasizing has always been my secret weapon. Nice one, Hilton.
What are
cool.
your specs? Just for interest's sake.
Yeah, let us know your specs in the comments below if you have a PC. Cool, so let's move on. So we've now stripped it properly bare, like I wanted in the beginning, and we're going to start with the motherboard. So we've tested the motherboard, let's go back to that. Now we're going to place the motherboard in and see where the standoff screws actually need to go. Normally you wouldn't have your CPU socketed and you wouldn't have your RAM on the board. Yeah. But actually it's a good thing to do before putting in the motherboard.
I'll do it, I always do it. It's just it makes it easier because no one wants to fiddle in a case trying to get RAM sticks in and the CPU on.
Yeah.
Just put it on before, then you can whack it in.
Yeah. Okay,
cool.
So we've done all of that plus our cooler. This is a stock standard cooler, so I'm just going to show you this before we put it in. That's the motherboard over there, and now I'm going to lay it down slowly. We don't have the back plate in yet. I'm just looking at the standoff screws. So Brendan can get me the back plate now for the motherboard, and then I can actually see. So that's perfect. The only ones I don't see that we have actually. ATX board, this is primed and ready for an ATX. It's absolutely perfect. It's even got a center screw to hold the board in place while screwing it, and we don't need to do anything else. So I'm going to remove this. We just need the back plate. And for the motherboard, do you know where you put it? You took it out. You said we need to take that out. Is it still in the back of that? No, it's not. It's been removed. No, that's not good. Oh, here it is. I found it. Over there.
That is the IO shield.
IO shield,
not the back plate.
I call it the back plate. This is the IO shield. Input outputs also allows for grounding of your components. Well, the stuff that you plug in.
Cool.
Okay, so we got this guy.
IO shield you can pop in first.
IO shield we're going to pop. You're going to do that? The glorious click of the IO shield going in. Love it. Yeah, and
when it does click in.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go. This is when you can use a bit of force to get stuff in slowly. Okay, perfect. So like we said, guys, this fits perfectly. No standoffs needed extra because the guys at NZXT are really cool.
Hilton says his specs are GTX 550 Ti, an i3 2nd gen, 8 gig DDR3 RAM, 500 gig SATA hard drive, and a 250 gig SSD.
Nice.
What games do you play?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I'm very interested.
So now, guys.
LT says, sorry, MSI B450 Tomahawk, Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1060. Nice one.
Nice. You guys got some nice setups. Okay, so I'm just taking out all the screws that I might need to start with. Now, motherboard screws, depending on what they are, would probably be these guys, the M35 flat. Those are the technical names. I call them screws that you can put in your motherboard. But we're going to test out now just to see if they do fit. So taking one of them, and we're going to now screw in where the standoffs are. And let's see if they actually fit in there. They do not. It's a real stuff up. I'm joking. They don't fit. So these are too skinny in terms of the screws themselves, which is not good. We need something that's going to hold the motherboard tightly because all your components are on there, guys. And if you lift it up and that falls, it can damage things quite badly. Okay, so we're going to go for these guys, which are the 632 screw flats. You know,
and hope that they're the right.
Because otherwise NZXT, I'm pretty sure they gave us the right ones. Okay, so we're going to start with these. So actually nice. I like it that they're all black screws because I think we're in the age now where it's a lot cleaner.
All PCBs are black as well.
Black, there you go. You can actually just keep passing me them.
I wouldn't say all, but
most, yeah. Back in the day you had blue and green and...
So guys, one thing we haven't done now is to take the chance to clean all your hardware.
Yes.
Your components and stuff.
That is so true.
If you have access to a compressor, fantastic. Just spray all the dust out. We don't.
Yeah.
Because you guys won't hear us if we do that. So
yeah, it's a good time to do it when moving PCs.
Marco, we'll do it when your PC's nicely built.
Yes. Well, hope. Oh, crisis. This is... Do you know what the problem is with these? They're not magnetized. No!
I'm glad you're doing that and not me.
Yeah. Small hands. Oh, well, okay, I'm just going to start on the easy ones and then work my way to the hard ones. 20M chop, building a PC, haven't done this in some time. I think the last time I built one was last year.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I used to do it a lot. I used to actually run an IT company, guys, where I built PCs for people, fixed PCs and Macs as well. So if you've got a Mac problem or a PC problem, drop me a comment below and let me know. Anybody else got any comments there? Mostly Dota 2 got 5,000 hours and get Greedfall yesterday. Wow.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, so is that Hilton? He's busy
Hilton.
clapping it.
Dota 2. Let's tune in. We would love to do another Dota 2 showcase. Get
some
pro teams, some pro shoutcasters in again.
Yeah, it'd be great. We always have fun doing those type of things for you guys. We actually need to do the behind the scenes technical of the 404 just so you can see how this all runs.
Especially of this setup because this is quite fantastic.
Yeah.
What we're looking at.
Yeah. We're doing our best. I'm struggling with these screws, I'll not lie. They're not the best. And guys, you must just be careful when using a screwdriver. You don't want to push too hard, drive through any components. That is a thing, so just be very, very, very gentle. It doesn't look like I am being gentle, but being calculated when it comes to this. Otherwise, you can damage a lot of things. There's a lot of surface components as well as surface mount as well as standoff. So stuff that is sitting off the board that can be knocked off. So just be careful. Okay. Almost there for all the motherboard screws. This is the tedious work. This is normally when you watch PC builds, this is the stuff they fast forward through. But you guys are watching a live stream, so we can't do that. There's comments coming in here.
Cool, let me read them.
Oh, Yang's watching. How's it, Yang? Thanks so much for tuning in. We are building a PC on the 404 today.
Give a vertical wave there. Oh, no.
Oh, now you look like an idiot. There we go. How's it, Yang? Cool. So we got a couple more screws to go and then we are done with the motherboard mount.
Then it should be quite speedy from there.
Buggering it up hard.
Oh, dropping screws.
All the time. Never good. Never good. Did they go to screw heaven at the bottom of the case somewhere?
I will get them.
Yeah.
Just keep track of how many you drop.
2. So far.
Guys, let us know in the comments how many screws we're going to drop into this case.
Yeah, that'd be great. The person, I'm not lying, we still got shirts to give out. So a person who gets the closest to the amount of screws dropped, which is 2 so far if you've just tuned in. Yeah, let us know and you can get yourself a top. And we've still got some tops that we can give away. No lies.
This earpiece is going off.
Is it? You're tired of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to drop another screw. Here it comes. Come on, Darren. Come on. I believe in myself. Oh, I don't. Oh, no.
I believe.
There we go.
There we go. Well,
Ah, many beliefs make screwdriver work. Fantastic. Ah, okay, cool. Yes, it's in. That's what Anyway, move on. Okay, Yang says, hey guys, my faves. Hey, woo! That's so great. Maybe like 10, Harry said. Thanks, wow.
I think more than that.
There's so much faith happening here.
Well, we've dropped 2 and we've just started, so.
Hilton's like, Apple Watch for the win. Thank you. I love my Apple Watch. It works like a charm. Cool. Okay, so guys, if you look over here, back on the top view, we have the motherboard neatly inside there. We see the RAM was already attached to the board when we connected it. It's a good thing to do, plus the CPU with the cooler. This is an original cooler. There's no water cooling happening here. They actually don't work too bad as long as you have airflow in the case. What I find is with the CPU coolers that come with the stock standard ones that come with CPUs, they get clogged quite fast with dust because of the way they're situated in the fans and stuff, and their fan on top just doesn't move enough air. So it is a good idea to upgrade if you can, and that's normally when moving PCs, I normally look at upgrading one component or the next. Okay.
If you are buying new, just remember, if you are going to get a water cooler for your PC,
yes,
or anything else, CPUs, sorry, sell the CPU without the stock coolers, so it saves you a bit of money.
That's it. That's very true. Thank you. There's a nice tip there from 8-Bit River. Very impressed.
Everyone money.
So I'm going to stand this up so we can see everything at the back now. Now what I'm just looking at is where we're going to start putting components, because we've got the board in and we know the board's going to be there, but now we just got to look at where we might be putting the SSD or hard drives and how we're going to be running cables. So what we could do now is actually put the power supply in. It's a good thing to do, so you can also just see how cables are going to fit and reach the different parts of the case. Okay, so let's do that. So what we have is this power supply, once again, non-modular, lots of cables. It's a, what is this, a thermal take? 550 watt light power. It's very light on power and very light on modularity. Cool.
Cool, back it in.
So there's two ways to mount a power supply, guys. This is very important to know. A lot of people have many times they're like, oh, you can't mount a power supply with the fan up because then you know, it's not going to work, it's not efficient, or you can't mount it down because then it blocks the fan and then it's not efficient. That's all rubbish. Okay, that literally is a lie. You can mount the power supply anyway. Actually, the case normally dictates that. So I'll show you what I mean. Is at the bottom of this case, I'm going to lift it up for you. At the bottom of this case, we actually have a dust filter that's connected to the bottom, and this shows us that the power supply is actually meant to be mounted with the fan facing down, which means the fan will either intake air, which it normally does. It will intake the air, blow onto the components inside and blow out the back. So there is no right way of mounting a power supply. It literally depends on the case and the power supply itself. And you'll see the screw holes on the back where you actually screw in the power supply will then also dictate the way in which you do the power supply, because you'll see they'll line up only one way. Okay, so there we go. Fantastic. We're going to put the power supply in now. That was a long-winded discussion about power supply mounting, you know, but it's good to know. The viewers need to know this. So here we go. So we're going to pop it the wrong way around, as people would say, with the fan facing down, and we're going to put it in. And Bob's your uncle. Who knew? Fanny's your aunt. It fits. Cool. So here it comes. So now all we got to do is, once it's in, and that was relatively painless. Now you'll notice we actually have a shield over here. The power supply lives in what we call a basement of the case itself, which is very nice for cable management, because then you don't see all of that stuff coming out of the bottom.
I've seen a lot of tempered glass cases have this, because that's usually the ugliest part of your case.
Yes, is there about.
Yang says, this is the most I've heard you speak, Darren.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you should watch our streams more, Yang.
Yang, you should be grateful, because he just never stops. Ever.
Oh, well. Yeah, Yang needs to watch our streams a bit more.
Yeah, Yang must tune in.
Yeah, it'll be great. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. on the 404. Okay, what I do when I'm not at work. So let's quickly screw this guy in.
Cool.
One screw. Oh, these screws are like just everything just uses these screws. It just seems. They're very nice screws.
Guys, just so you know, I'm hopping on and off camera so I can give you nice sexy shots.
Sexy shots of the
Darren
case.
screwing in some screws.
Oh yeah, it's time to screw in screws. It's what I do on a Thursday.
You might want to turn the power supply off while you're there.
Oh, right. It's always good.
Yeah.
There's no power running into it though, but thank you. Okay, so there we go. That's your major screws. Everything's lined up and looking good. And the power supply is neatly in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the case around for you guys so you can see Here's all the looms coming out of the bottom, and now we need to know where our runs are going to be. So remember what I told you about the case itself. If we flip it back, let's quickly do that so we can all see what we're going to be connecting on the board itself. Over here we have the 8-pin power supply at the top. You can't actually see it. There we go, now you can see it. We got the board 8-pin power supply up top there. You got a 24-pin over here that we need to connect. Okay, and then we're going to be running from there as well a lot of case cables to the USB 3 headers. We're going to be running all of the SATA connectors over here. Graphics card will fit in over there, and otherwise everything else, the CPU cooler is connected to the CPU header, which is what you want. And then at the bottom here is all of your case connections. That's actually quite funny. That's a company. All your case connections over there, which will be for your power button. It will be for any audio. It'll be for anything like
hard
that.
drive lights, everything.
Yeah, so all of that comes in there. Okay, so now that I've chatted a hind leg of a dog, let's run these cables. So this guy over here, if you don't know what is what in terms of cabling, you get something over here that is that guy that I'm holding over there is a 8-pin power supply for your CPU. It's a CPU power supply, okay? And then you get ones that look kind of like it, which is these guys, and these are your PCI Express power supplies. These go to your graphics card. They normally come with 6-pin connectors and then an extra 2-pin connector connected on top of that. So you'll see they're detachable. So some graphics cards take 6-pin, some take 8-pin, some take dual 6-pin or dual 8-pin, depending how big your graphics card is. So yeah, make sure you buy the right power supply for your graphics card. That's normally what I dictate in terms of my power supply size. The size of the power supply is determined by the size of your graphics card.
Do you want to give us a closer look at those connectors, guys? It's basically like Lego. These will only fit on PCI cards. They won't fit in the motherboard.
Compared to, if I put this one over here, compared to that one. It's actually, if you look at them, they're not the same. So yeah, just so you know. Okay, cool, fantastic. Yeah, so there we go. So there's our actual 8-pin, which we need to get to the top of the motherboard. If you remembered, it's up top here. So I'm actually going to run it through this section somewhere over here and pray it works, because there we go. There we go. The prayers were heard. So now what I'm going to do is flip it right over, lay it down. Fine. Such a nice case. And we're going to just quickly do the inserts of the cable into the 8-pin header, which is over there. And listen to the resounding click of me breaking the case. No, joking. Of the cable going in itself. There we go. Okay, and it is in. It is done. Now I'm just going to move it across so I can kind of get some cable management going on here. And I'm probably going to feed it in there. Look how nice that is. It's got a space for me. Yeah, right along here, which is super cool. And yeah, trying to... a lot of people, depending on what they do, there's two schools of thought when it comes to cable management. Doing it as you go, which sometimes can get you into trouble, because then you realize, oh crap, there's another cable doesn't fit. So what I like doing is I like doing a bit of just small management, and then we'll do proper cable management at the end when everything is in place, and then we can run the cables where we want them, cable tie them together as well. Okay, so the next power cable we're going to look at is the big guy, the guy that's going to power everything. That's the 24-pin motherboard connector. This guy over here, like we said, actually delivers the most amount of power to your motherboard. If you're not overclocking, this could actually just run your motherboard just fine. We don't, however, even though Brendan did say that you don't need to put in the 8-pin, we don't, however, condone that. If the board has that and your power supply has that connector, have it connected. Just in case anything goes wrong, it's supplying extra power that could save your board from undervolting, which could damage components. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is, this guy looks like it could run up at the back here in this cable management over there. You see over there. There we go, Brendan. Oh, focus. Oh, he's amazing. As you know, he's not just a pretty face, this man. He's a legendary cameraman as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop this guy up in there, and we're going to push it through, and it's actually got a 24-pin shield, which means it hides the cable. You'll see this white piece over here. That white piece over there is actually a shield. It's very nice. So your cables can just run out from the back of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of sticky with Velcro. And there we go. Flip it back around. Bam. Brendan's got that angle for me. Now you see, this guy came out perfectly where I needed it, because NZXT, once again, legends. They know what they're doing, and we're going to plug it directly into the board. Sorry that my hand's in the way at the moment. But we're going to plug it nicely into the board. And listen for the click. There it was, very swiftly. I don't know if you could hear that on my mic. Okay, fantastic. So now it is in and neat. And there we go, we have it down. Let's read some comments. Let's take a break. So, yeah, Darren Miller, got to drop at least 8 more for that shirt. Don't worry, the next screws are coming soon. Carrie, you're going to get that. Then Hilton, Apple Watch for the win. So we don't have anybody else. Let us know your comments below, guys. Still building this PC. NZXT H510 Elite. Very nice case. That's the one you're looking at right here. Okay. So now we've plugged in the 24-pin power connector for the motherboard. We plugged in the 8-pin, and now what we're going to probably do is look at running our hard drives. I think that could be nice. Okay, so before we actually get to the hard drives, I'm going to see if I can plug in a bit of the cases cables. You can't see what I'm doing here, so let me flip this around. There we go. So over here we've got a couple of cables that come with the computer itself. Over here is your HD audio cable. Okay, Brendan can zoom in there. I believe in him.
Oh, am I going right in?
Oh, there it is.
Get it.
HD audio, because no one believes that. Everyone goes like, HD audio, what is that cuck? So yeah, there it is. That's your HD audio cable. This is for your onboard audio. Okay, that's going to be plugged in. Then what we have over here that's quite cool, I don't even know what the hell this is. That looks like a proprietary connector for fans. That looks like the fan connector.
For the LED hub.
LED hub, there we go. This over here is a USB 3 header, okay, that's for the top of the case, so that'll be USB 3.1 and USB Type C and Type A. And then over here we have a USB 2 header, always good to have, USB 2s. This is for the back, anything that you can plug into the case itself. Okay, and then we've got power connectors down at the bottom here. If Brendan's going to get to those. But basically these are power connectors, fan headers, and you've got a SATA connector here for power as well. Just that will be for the fan controller, and anything else that might need power, basically for the fan controller that I can see here. Nothing else needs power. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed these straight through right now, and literally I'm going to put it through this side. I don't know how neatly this is going to run because I actually don't want this bottom cable tied like it is. I think we can take that off for now, just so it frees up the cables a bit, and we can always retie it once we're done. So I'm going to feed that guy through. He's going to come there. We're going to put this flat so we can see what's happening, and then inside here we're going to look for the USB 3 header. You can't see it because the camera is a bit far away, but it's right next to the 24-pin on this board itself. It depends on the board. That'll be moved around depending on the board. And what we need to do is just be careful and slowly place the connector in, and I'm going to rerun this cable a bit better because it is a bit of a hideous cable when it comes to cable management. It never looks great. We've got a couple people there. We've got Coughing Cat says hello. How's it, Coughing Cat? Thanks so much for tuning in. It's the best. And then we got, what motherboard are they using? TwinCam J. This is the MSI gaming series. I actually don't know what it is. Like we said, we never got told any of the specs. We just got told it is time to build and do the things. So we will actually, I think Marco, if you're still watching, should post all of his specs.
Definitely. Please, Marco.
Marco, if you're still watching.
We'll have a look at the specs. Once this is up and running, we'll go through.
That's it. Okay, cool. So what we got over here is our cable neatly back through, and I probably will tie it nicely, just making sure that it's not pulling too much. I'll tie it nicely again with these cables when we're done. Once again, after the fact, guys, because if you start cable managing now, you're going to realize, oh my goodness, probably a better way of running this after the fact. Okay, so now all these cables that are hanging out here are got to do with our hard drives, and that's what I want to look at next, is anything to do with hard drives. Okay, hard drives nowadays are SATA connectors. They're no longer Molex. So Molex are these old fat ones. You can see over there, that's a fat one. And these are the new ones over there. So hard drives used to be the old ones, which is this one, and now they're this one over here. There we go, get in there tight. Oh, look at that focus, very impressed. Okay, so this is now hard drives. This is still not obsolete. This one over here, which is the Molex, this connects any fans, can connect a lot of different things, but nowadays everything's actually moving to SATA power. Okay, SATA power connectors, which you'll see over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do
is work out the spaghetti mess.
Yes, just exactly. Thank you.
That's why you should get modular power supplies, guys.
Yeah, modular power supplies, save you time, save you money. I'm unwrapping everything just so I can see where things are going. Okay, so what we have at the back here actually is we have the SSD mounts that we can put which is really nice, and it's out of sight, out of mind. Remember, SSDs don't have any moving components. So when we look at this guy, which is Marcus SSD, he's got a nice little Samsung, I think this is 850 Evo. Very nice drive. Samsung SSDs are really, really good, guys. If you're looking at buying the Evo range, is their more budget range versus there. What's there?
The Evo, they got the Pro, and they got the Q.
Oh, Qvo, yeah, which is their now budget series.
Which is actually that one on your left.
That's actually true.
Above the grip.
Yes, so I'll show you this one that's going to be coming in as our boot drive. So that's actually a new one that we got, came in from Japan. So yeah, there he is. So that's a new one, but we're going to use this just for our boot drive a little bit later. You actually see it's a little bit thinner. That's very weird, but it is like a smidge. Okay, cool. Anyway, so this is Marco's drive. Are we not putting Marco's drive in?
No, we are only using
Okay,
that.
only using that. So Marco's drive, sorry, I'm just going to throw it away. Once again, guys, no movable parts, so you can't damage an SSD. Okay, it's flash memory. If no one knows about this guy will even really speed up your consoles as well. If you're looking at upgrading, look at upgrading to an SSD. If that's a laptop, your PC, or your console, you're going to have way better boot times and load times for your games. It doesn't really change frame rate though, so it's not a frame rate thing that will improve your frame rates in games.
And guys, if you have an older PC, get an SSD, you will see a world of improvement.
Yes, you really will. Okay, so I'm just going to see the best way to mount this and how this mounting works. I think what we have to do is actually take this bracket off, which is fine. So let's actually do that. I'm going to go on that side, take this guy off. There we go, and he's off. Okay, so then what we'll have to do is look at which way we're going to mount it. Are we going to mount it down, or are we going to mount it up? I personally think we should maybe look at mounting it down because of the power supply cables. So I'm going to look at that, fantastic, and aim it downwards. Okay, so now all we technically need to do is put in the screws, and lo and behold, I think we might need to use the other screws that I started off with that I thought were the motherboard ones, which are the M3 flats. Yeah, I mean, that's me. I feel like I could sell a screw to a blind person. Okay, here it comes. So what are we going to do? Pop them in. The screws go this way. It's actually a very nice mounting system, very simple. I like that about case manufacturers. The harder it is, sometimes it gets so simple, you don't even need screws. It's what is called, what is it called? It's not modular.
Hot swappable?
Hot swappable, yeah. So it's a hot swappable drive, mounts which just allow you to be a lot quicker when mounting your stuff. So you don't actually need screws, toolless. It's actually a toolless design, yeah.
Hot swappable is like if you have server grade hardware and you need to replace a drive, pronto.
That's correct, yes. That is very correct. So over here I'm just screwing in the back screws. I was correct, it was the other ones that I thought were the motherboard mount screws. They fit perfectly for the drive mounts, so that's nice. You'll notice now, guys, a lot more cases are coming out with SSD mounts, a lot more SSD mounts than 3.5 inch mechanical drive mounts, and that's normal. So that's just obviously becoming the norm because standard SATA SSDs are a lot cheaper than they used to be. The new one now is getting yourself a, why am I forgetting the name? Help me, Brendan. Other type of SSD, not standard SATA, but a?
Oh, M.2.
M.2, which is...
the motherboard has a slot.
Does it have an M.2 slot? Okay.
We're just not using it. It's an M.2 connector, but
yes.
the super fast ones are called NVMe.
NVMe drives, that's correct. So we got NVMe's, and those are now taking the spot with regards to the most expensive drives when it comes to PC building. Okay, once I've done this, I will read comments because there's a bunch of people that are commenting. Wild, thanks, eh? Sorry about that and not knowing the motherboard, but we will let you know soon. Okay, so now I just need to put the screw back in. I don't actually remember which one it is. What does it look like? It looks like that one. So I need a big one. Oh, this is me in bad screw management.
Guys, I'd just like to point out all my screws are in the containers provided.
Yeah, but people are still trying to win shirts here, okay? Still trying to win shirts. Okay, there we go. So the SATA SSD is mounted nicely, and we have access to the power and data ports over here at the bottom. So I'm going to actually connect those up now. Guys, please remember when connecting your SATA cables or anything to the PC, just be very careful with them. You can damage a drive's SATA connector quite easily by putting it in and pushing or pulling on the connector itself, you can literally break, snap them right off. So just be very careful when doing this. Not a lot of people know about that, and they go in, they chuck it in, and then they pull the cable and it bends it, rips it out, and breaks the whole thing, either on the hard drive side or on the motherboard side. Okay, so we're going to do this very carefully. Jay's 2 cents actually might do this last, but I like doing it now because I like knowing that my hard drive's connected. So I'm doing this blind, which is a bit silly. So I want to go and look there and pop him in. There we go. Fantastic. These cables are not my preferred color, pink. You know, but hey, nowadays we try and keep everything black and nice and neat. But yeah, yeah. So sure, I almost feel bad. I want to upgrade Marcus' PC with a couple of cables that I have. So what we're going to do is just pop this through here, so we can see it there, and that's going to go straight to the motherboard. Actually, we need to see where this is going to go. So it shouldn't go through the bottom hole. It should actually run up and around. So we're going to put this guy back in here. It's going to run up, around, underneath the 24 pin. Now, just to let you know, back in the day, there was this, it wasn't a misconception, but it was back when shielding wasn't such a good thing. You never really should run your data cable too close to your power cable. That was what was believed, but nowadays with shielding, you don't have that problem. So you don't get data corruption when running your data cables too close to power. Okay, so this is through and in, and now we can flip it on its side again and plug him in. Okay, because this is the main drive, we need to see where SATA port 0 is, or SATA port 1. It's always good to plug it in there, because that's the way in which your motherboard and the BIOS will read. It'll always read SATA port 0 first, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So the closer it is to the first port, the better if it's your boot drive. Okay, so now we're going to go in. We got SATA port 2, and I just want to see, I take it, that's 1 will be on 1 and 2, so 1 will be at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to plug him in. Ba-bam! He's in. Okay. And that was a resounding click that you should have heard. So, any comments? Let us know, guys, your PC building. Any questions that you have, keep them coming. Cool. So now we plugged in the main drive. Do we have any other drives from here? We do. Okay.
We do, yes.
And with those, the things that came out, we don't have any drive mounts.
I think we can slot them in and show them how to connect, but...
Okay, but hang on, this came off that PC.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to actually take it off. Damn it. Okay, so this looks like a toolless design to me because it doesn't actually have any screws. Oh. So there we go, it's off. So that's a toolless design. The hard drive just clips in into the mount holes, okay, which is quite nice. You can pull that out. And we've got to be careful with these drives because Mark has instructed me that there's some very important data on here. So don't drop them. Guys, this is a mechanical hard drive. A mechanical hard drive's got moving pieces, and it's very susceptible to damage if dropped or high G-forces. So be very careful with these type of drives. And also, when it comes to these type of drives, don't bring magnets near them or anything stupid like that. I don't know why people would, but hey, people have done dumber things. Even here on the 404. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just check where these drives are going to go, and what we will do this time is flip this case around this way. Cool. So now what we have is our drive bays. We only actually have 2 in this case. Like I said, we are looking at they're down at the bottom. But what we have here is, like I say, 3.5-inch drives are going on their way out, and we're looking at SATA SSDs as our main drives nowadays. So what we're going to do is just slot this guy in. That actually kind of sucks, so I'm going to figure out a better way of doing this. Okay, so I'm going to dismount this whole chassis case. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, Brendan, how's it going there? You want to read the comments?
Yeah.
There's not too much. There's not too much. That's okay. You guys, let's keep the comments coming in. Popping in, popping out. Can you give me a bucky there so I don't drop a screw?
Yeah, you mean like all these 100 ones that I was...
Yeah, Harry's the only person who's entered the competition. I'm just letting you know. Harry definitely wants that top. Everyone else still needs to tell us how many screws you think we're going to drop. Oh goodness, okay. Wow, what's our time like? Oh my goodness, we don't have much longer to go. We're going to have to speed up.
Already, yeah. We're almost done though.
We are almost done. Oh no, I dropped screws. I dropped 2 more. We're on 4, Harry. We're on 4 screws. Okay, come on, you can pull out. Okay, so we got this guy. So you can see this is the 3.5-inch hard drive bay mount. So it's pretty simple. Now what I'm going to do is just slot these guys in where we want them and ensure that our SATA ports are the correct way around. That is not the correct way around, Darren. That is unbelievably bad. Okay, cool. There we go. One drive in and the next drive underneath that. I don't know which way it was, but it's actually fine with regards. If it's not your system drive, guys, doesn't really matter which SATA port you connect it to. So now that I have these guys in, I'm just going to screw them in nicely so they are secure. I'm going to put that on top there without damaging any components. And let's quickly screw this in. These will also be the small screws. 2 screws will suffice. I don't think we need any more, to be honest with you. There we go. 2 screws per drive, should I say. We're good to go. Fantastic. Let's put in the next ones. Perfect. Okay, dokie, that is the wrong screw. It's the right screw.
So can I just ask, how are you finding this case to build in?
Very nice. I'm not even lying, because everything is where I want it to be. So when I started running cables, I was like, wow, when I put it in that specific cable run at the back, it just worked. You know what I mean? And then when I put this together, it just makes sense. Everything makes sense. And that's what you want from a case. You don't want to struggle. I've had many cases where, see what I did there? Many a case where my case just gave me uphill. I didn't even know how to disassemble it when I wanted to get into naked mode before building. And that is very frustrating. Especially also where you can't, where they put screws and stuff behind things to the point where you can't actually get into the case. It can be very annoying. So yeah, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this guy into the slot over here. There he is. And just make sure he's lined up for the screws. And there it is. Awesome. Okay, now we just got to get these bottom screws back in. Haven't dropped any, guys. I'm still on 4 if you're keeping count. And let's do this one at a time. Brendan, I might need hands here, maybe. Sorry, I know you're doing very well, but you're going to have to lift this up for me.
Cool.
Because he's not sitting nicely. Yeah. Going to have to lift up a little bit, I think. There we go. Perfect. Okay, dokie. Sorry, I know, guys, you can't see this, but this is not very glamorous.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
Literally just
screws going in the bottom so the hard drive cage can stay where it needs to stay. It's so cool. I'm very impressed with this case.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, there we go. And that one's in. This one's in.
Man, I dig these little SSD holders.
Holders that are nice. Can you do me a favor and bump that aircon up down to like 19?
Down to 10 degrees. Sweet.
Down to 10 degrees. Okay. So 6 more to go, Harry says. And the 10mm socket is lost forever. You dropped 6 screws, but you found one. Okay, so that's what Dustin says. We dropped 6 screws, but we found one. Some Keda's watching. How's it, Sam? Thanks so much. Sam Plays has joined. So yeah. So anyway, see how's our NZXT build looking good. We've got our drives in place. So now what I'm going to do is just run the SATA cables once again. Beautiful pink SATA cables. There they are. Oh, I love it. This is so 1998.
Mark, I've got some black and white ones if you want.
It'll really suit this build, I won't lie.
It really will.
I'm a person who's very, very much anal when it comes to my colors and how things fit together in the build. Okay. So that guy's going to go through over here, around the same area. Just going to feed them through so they go to the front of the case. And we're going to do the same for the other one. Once again, I might disconnect this so I don't bump it and break it, like I said. Okay, that guy's in. And we're going to do the bottom one. So disconnect the top one once again so I don't damage it. And pop him into here. Okay, fantastic. All of them are through to the front now. Great.
Man, that's really cool.
It is cool.
Nice channels.
That's so cool. And this shielded for the whole thing. So what we're going to do is flip it up and to the front and plug them in. You can go back to the cameraman.
I see what you're doing here. You're just like, I don't want Brendan building this, I want to build this.
I'm enjoying this. This is doing it for me. I haven't had this much fun building a PC in a long time. Okay, cool. So let's put all our connectors back in. The extra drives, we are almost there, guys. We just got to now power up everything, do the last things. Maybe should have done data cables second, but not the end of the world. Okay, cool. So that's actually quite neat and nice. I really like the way it's connected there. And
that's why Marco chose red. because of the MSI logo.
That's actually very true for his SATA cables, but now he's got a white case, so he needs to up his game and change his cables. We're not slating your PC, Marco, we're just trying to help. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is flip it back around and just plug in those power cables. So we have power to all the drives, which we have not done on any of them at the moment. So at the back here, we've got everything, and now we're just going to connect up. That's all of this mess over here has to do with fans and fan connectors and the fan headers. We're not going to worry about that at the moment. This guy needs to come around, just trying to make our cables as neat as possible. What I normally do with the slack when it comes to data cables is neatly put them down and into places that they can hide. Okay, and now what we're going to do is just run our loom of SATAs, these guys, okay, from bottom to top of all the drives. We've got 2 connectors on here, 3 connectors on here. We have 3 drives, so this whole strip should power up everything if we are economically clever. Okay, with regards to how we run our power, but it depends on the case, so sometimes you do have to use 2 or more. Okay, so there we go. We are in on the one and in on the other, and now we just need to reach, and we cannot because it is too far away. So we're going to have to use the other loom, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. That's why there is 2. And on this one, let's lift it up. We have this bottom guy that I'm going to use. I'm going to fold the rest of the cables into the power supply bay so they are hidden and out the way. Okay. Yeah. Non-modular power supplies I have not used in a long time. So another thing that Marco could look at upgrading on his PC, because it will just help. And also helps troubleshooting and everything. It's just like it's a great time saver to have a modular power supply. Okay, so this guy looks like it goes in this way, and let's pop that in. Okay, dokie.
Guys, I was going to say modular power supplies are really expensive, but as of late they've become really cheap and quite standard across the board.
Yes, and you get semi-modular as well. Semi-modular means just your 24 pin is connected, and then the rest of your cables are modular, which means they can be disconnected. And that's also a good one, because your 24 pin is something that always stays, but when it comes to how many hard drives you have, how many graphics cards you have, how many ports on your motherboard with regards to power that isn't 24 pin, then it's a good thing to look at if you want to also just have some modularity without spending too much money on a modular power supply. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, the last things we need to connect is actually our header cables. My thing is I do not see any start button cable, anything like that. That cable, all the thin ones, I don't see them. Never mind, there's the front panel header. Oh my goodness, that is amazing, guys. Look at this. There's a front panel header that's all connected as one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, they thought this through. Oh, there it is.
It's almost never like that.
Never like that. They're always separate cables that are her mission to get in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is run these cables, all of the stuff for the case stuff that needs to plug into the bottom of the motherboard, into the bottom of the case over there, and through, and then same with this guy, which is our basically our front panel data connectors. Okay, fantastic. And then with this guy, I forgot that we need to actually power the fan header over here, which is got to do with the fan controller. So what I'm going to do, this guy's going to go through here. Sorry, I'm just now routing all my cables. Let's see, George is here. How's it, George? Say, why you at the move? Oh yeah, why aren't you at the move? Thanks, George, because I'm building PCs on the 404. We got Stuart Young says, Darren acting like he knows what he's doing. Thanks, Stuart. Yeah, Captain Van Black there. And who else? Okay, that's everybody on the comments. Okay, we're going to carry on doing what we need to do here. Let's put all the cables where they need to go. And one last thing I want to do is just connect the power connector up to this fan controller. There we go, and that guy's connected. Okay, I'm going to go and look at cable management now at the back. But for now, we're going to flip it to the front and connect up all of the stuff that we need to connect up here in the front, which is exciting. Are you excited, Brendan?
Oh, I'm super excited.
I'm always excited. It's the best. What's Darren and Brendan doing? Their best. Okay, so over here we got USB 2 connector, and I'm going to look over here where our USB 2 headers are. There's the USB 2 header. Just make sure it lines up and you're not buggering up, otherwise you're going to bend these pins. There we go, the first one's in. And then what we got is the HD audio connector. Now normally that should, on new boards, that's at the bottom, but on some boards it's actually at the top here at the back, and it kind of sucks because that's normally when the cable length is just not long enough. But this one is at the bottom. Thank you, Marco, for buying such a good board. And you're going to plug them in.
Can you tilt that board down so we can just see where those plug into?
Yes, we can. So there they are at the bottom. USB 2 header.
Right side is where your
USB is, and then left side over there is where our audio connector is. Right in the corner. Hang on, I'll turn that towards you. How's that?
Yeah.
Better. There it is. Oh, beautiful camera work there by Brendan. Okay, so that's it over there. Okay, fantastic. So we're done with that. And now the other thing that we had to do was just our front port header connector, which I dropped down here. See, it's actually come through here. Okay, so this is very interesting and should line up perfectly with all of our restart. And it will be the restart function, it will be the power function, it will be the hard drive LED, the thinking light, which is the hard drive LED, and what else? What are the power lights as well? Yeah. Will all be on here. So what we're going to do is line it up, which is our JFP port. Yeah, that's that one over there. That's USB, that's JFP. That's amazing. This case is making me very happy. Okay. There we go, and connected and good to go. So let me quickly show you that one. That's that one at the bottom over there. Fantastic. Headers are in. We can actually make this look a bit better because at the moment it looks a bit creepy. So let's figure this. I'm going to disconnect the HD audio and just run it better because I like my case is looking good, and so does Marco. So this is really stupid on me. There we go. Let's run that like that. Pull that there and pop that one back in. Okay, USB 2 headers back in, and audio header is back in. Kind of. It's freaking out. Oh, okay. I see what the problem is. Had it the wrong way, and there we go. Okay, nice and neat and sorted. Except for the one little cable, but that's okay for now. We need to get this computer working. We don't have much time to go. So there we go. The last thing we need to look at doing, see, these are all the fan connectors, and I don't really know how they work. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
We don't have time to read the manual.
We don't have time to read the manual. So what I'm going to do is do the graphics card next. The most important part of any gaming PC, as we said before, and normally the most expensive if you're going for something. Once again, guys, I don't have an anti-static wristband, and I'm about to pick up a graphics card. So touching the case discharges any excess electricity running through me, or static, as we call it. And over here is the graphics card. This is an MSI GTX 970, so nothing spectacular, but it's still a great card. Still chugs along. So what we need to do now is actually, before we put that in, we need to remove the back plates over here on the back of the PCI Express slots. I'll show you them. All here. And we actually just need to see where the card's going to line up. So we have one over there, so it means we missed the top one, we keep that one. And then these guys over here, I'm actually going to remove this whole bracket because it's just going to be in my way. We're not putting our cards vertically, we're putting them the usual horizontal. Okay, and I'm just going to remove two plates that we don't need, so the back I/O of the cards can slot through here. Okay.
Guys, the reason why we're not putting cards vertically is because we don't have a PCI
extenders, yeah, that allow you to do that. I know. I actually have to do a vertical graphics card PC build. Okay, cool. So here's your graphics card, guys. What we do is, what I like doing is lining it up at the back first, so getting these guys out and through, and then slotting it into the motherboard, which I'll do facing you so you can see. So like I said, we're going to line it up. Yeah. Line it up at the back. Put
towards me, please.
Yeah, that's perfect.
There we go.
Is that better? Fantastic. Line it up at the back. Place where we want to be. Line it up into the PCI Express slot, and you'll hear the click. If it will click, there we go. There's the click. And everything clicked into place. And now what we need to do, Brendan can focus over here by my finger. Now we need to just screw in these guys for extra support, which is one screw and two screws over there. Okay, we are dangerously close to finishing this in time. Who knew? 2 hours to build a PC worth talking. If I didn't have to talk, I would have been a bit faster. Nothing against you guys at home though. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see why you're not at the move. No, there's no more comments. Anybody else want to comment on their PC specs? I've only dropped 4 screws, Harry, so I think Dustin is closer. Okay.
I think we're pretty much almost done.
We're pretty much almost done. So now what I'm going to do while I'm here, because I've already run the connectors, I'm going to run the power for this graphics card. This graphics card uses one 8 and one 6 pin. So I'm going to connect the 8 pin over here. Oh goodness, there we go. Got a bit more length out of this.
Connect. Heat pops.
Yeah, the heat pops are very sexy. Ensuring the heat is distributed away from the graphics card chip. There we go. Chip itself, and now we plugged in, and that's pretty much as cable managed as we're going to be. I know that doesn't look great close up. Thanks, Brendan, for ensuring that everyone hates on my cable management. Okay, cool. So there we go. We pretty much plugged in and ready to go. At the back here, we have some things we could still do. Maybe is start looking at cable management. I do not know how these proprietary connectors connect up. I will be very honest. But what we should have is power to the fans via the SATA power connector. So that we definitely do have. We've plugged in everything with regards to the IO on the top, which should be all connected, and the power connector should be connected. USB headers are connected, USB 3 headers are connected, HD audio is connected. We have our motherboard 24-pin power, our CPU 8-pin power connected, our graphics card power is connected, and all our hard drives are connected via our SATA data cables and our SATA power cable. Okay, so the moment of truth before we put any side panels on, guys, is to retest that you haven't forgotten something. What can go wrong when you press the power button? First of all, you could get it nothing, which is a big fat bugger all stuff all, which can happen when doing that. That could be due to multiple things. As easy as you forgetting to switch on the power switch at the back of your power supply, all the way to you not actually connecting some of the power connectors, so the motherboard just doesn't switch on. That's not normal though, because the motherboard normally, once your power is switched on at the back of your power supply, will come on with lights, and that gives you a telltale sound that it's receiving power. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just for now, so we can actually see that happen, is I'm going to run a cable, which we have over here.
Oh, look at that case.
Look at that case. It's so good. I'm going to run a cable up to the back over here. I'm going to plug him in. And then this is the time where you pray that the smoke stays inside the machine. That's your goal as a PC builder, is to keep the smoke in the machine and not so it doesn't escape. Okay. So now I'm going to pop on the power, and what we should see is some lights and stuff pop on the board. I'm not seeing that.
Your head.
That's not good.
There we go.
Okay. I'm going to pop the power button.
Oh, beautiful.
It is alive! Oh, there he is. Okay. So I'm going to pop it off. There we go. It's gone. So that's a good sign. It means we have not buggered up too much, but we don't know yet until we connect the screen and actually have a look at it. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is actually connect it up to a screen for you guys.
I'll help you with that.
Let's quickly do that. So you can pass me all the things. And then I'm just going to make this all nice. And then we'll put the side panels on for you. We can have a look and we can see who won the awesome shirt. I think it's a pink one. Didn't tell you what shirt it was. We've got Eben here. Eben says, give me this PC and I'll give you mine. A Dell Vostro 3750. It's only 10 years old. Thanks, Eben. Yeah, that's not happening. Awesome. Cool. Lekker. So we're going to pop in everything.
Yeah. Just give me a second. You can...
I think we still got to screw this guy back in, otherwise it's just not going to look nice. I think he can be there.
It is all fair.
Yes, it is. Okay, fantastic. So, can two idiots build a PC? Yes, we have just shown you that. And I think we built it quite well. Did we see the fans come on? I didn't even see if those fans came on. This is kind of a problem.
Well, is this guy connected properly? Let's check. Fan one. Did you only plug in one fan?
Yeah, there was only one
That's
fan.
LED's connected. That's fine.
Actually didn't see if these were coming on, but it's fine. We'll see now when we switch it on again. With all the goodness.
Get this quickly connected.
So we've got someone telling us, Jan Christian van Wyk says he's got an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, which is very cool. 16 gigs of Corsair RAM, Asus X470F gaming board with a GTX 970. Very nice. Overclocking 512 NVMe boot drive, 4 TB hard drive, and a 1300 watt power supply. Oh my goodness, well done. Powering everything.
1300 watts. Wow.
It's compensating for something, that man. Cool. Okay, are we good?
Yeah, we are ready to.
Okay, we're going to power him up. Count it down in 3, 2, 1. Let's pray it works. Hey, the fan's on. It looks very nice. We didn't put the 120mm fan back in just yet, but that's okay. I normally leave it out once again until I'm happy that the PC is working. Like I said, Brendan said, don't spin your thing the wrong way, number one, because that will damage your thing, but I'm spinning it the right way. Cool. In general, just don't do that. Don't listen to us. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good.
The boot drive in properly, so the
Yes.
cable is a bit loose. This looks amazing, guys. We'll take some sexy
we are
B-roll.
we're just looking at our off-screen monitor to see if we're getting any. There we go. Brings in stand up, so we are seeing it, which is good. I'm just going to check the BIOS settings. Go to hard drives. Let's just see what it's booting off.
It'll boot off. It's the only
Okay.
drive in there.
F10 and save, and we're good to go. Okay, so all we're doing now is checking stuff. We are going to cut to the PC for you just to see, because you're not believing us at the moment. We could be lying.
Yeah, I could be lying. It might just be not working.
Not working at all. But yeah, we're currently just seeing, there we go, booted up into the BIOS. That's a good sign. And back into the BIOS. That's good.
fine.
And now we're loading Windows. Boys, the 404. Dropping screws, but building PCs, boys.
Yeah, let's start clearing up the space here so we
Let's
can
do
get
it.
some nice shots of this. Can you throw this all that side?
Okay, so Eamon's like, why not? It's a great deal if you really think about it. Take a few tequila shots and it'll sound like an even better deal. Thanks, Eamon. It's still a no from us. Yeah, I'm very good when drinking. You know what I mean? Still make great life decisions. AMD Ryzen, this is Carrie's PC. It says AMD Ryzen 32200G overclocked to 3.8, 16 gigs of RAM, 120mm all-in-one cooler from Cooler Master, and MSI GTX 1050 Ti with 120 gig SSD boot drive. Very nice. Okay, cool.
Technical, are you
Technical.
getting
We should be getting a feed from the PC.
If you are getting it, please cut to it.
Yeah. I don't know if you are. It looks like it's a no.
We go see.
Okay, we do have a feed here of our PC. It is working. We are in Windows. You know, just there's nothing better than having a PC that works after moving it into a new case. We were a bit worried because this isn't our PC. This is someone else's. Are we struggling with the card?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Oh, we're giving you a second. No problem. Okay, cool.
It's not the card. It's just our way of getting it to the stream.
Okay, cool. So it's not the graphics card, it's just our hardware when it comes to the stream. Okay, we're going to check the displays now and see how everything is working. But now that I know that it works, actually, I'm going to really start assembling it again, because we don't need to worry that there's component failure or problems with any of our wiring. So I'm going to come to the side. You're not going to see me.
Should be getting it now.
There it is! Woohoo! Yes, there we are. Oh, go boys. Every day. Let's put it neatly in there.
Guys, this is working. We're not going to bother doing benchmarks because I feel like we don't have the time.
We don't, no. Sure, this works in a magical way. I don't know how this works. You know how this works, but you know what I need to do is put the 120mm fan back in. So don't put that on just yet.
What?
120mm fan needs to
Oh,
be put
you're
in.
going back in?
Yes, going back in, my guys.
Want me to shut down for you?
Yes, please, you can. Guys, don't work inside your PC if it's on. This is a recipe for disaster and will unfortunately end in tears. So don't do that. Okay, let's just make sure that we are off. Let me know when it's shut down properly.
Can you not get this door on?
No, I can't. I'm a
Get this.
bad idiot. But don't put it on because this is still going to go through to the fan controller. So there we go. This is going to go up and it's going to go in that lovely slotted way that it was. Now guys, remember that your fan, whenever putting a fan in, the blades will show you, normally there's an arrow showing you where the airflow goes in terms of how the fan spins, but you'll see that the blades, normally the flat side over here, that isn't the front of the fan, is the back of the fan where the airflow is going to be going from intake to exhaust. So the flat side, that's where the air is exhausting, and you normally want that on your back fan to be flat against the back of the grill, so it's pushing air out of the case. I don't know if I said that properly, or should I say, could have maybe described it better. Let me see. Here's our fan screws. Got them. Here it comes. Harry, you could still win. You could still win here, because now I've got to still
start dropping
I'm going to start dropping everything to Harry, so you can win the t-shirt. Okay, you go that side. And I need your help here. I'm sorry, I have my back to camera, but it's just easier for me to do it this way. Okay, lift up a bit. There we go. Now you're gonna have to push against. Cool, one in. Let's go.
Bottom corner.
Oh yeah, that normally is better to do in a star.
Unscrew.
What happened?
Because you got the cable caught.
Oh, that's not good. Unscrewed.
Cool, there we go.
Okay, screwing in.
Yep.
Winning.
Nice.
Those are very nice screws. I love this case actually, not even like. I'm very impressed. Guys, if you are in the market for a case, the NZXT H510 Elite is a bloody nice case to go for.
Sure, I love this bottom piece, makes it look so neat.
It really is neat. Okay, 120mm fan in.
If you want to see us kit this case out with
Some really nice hardware.
yeah,
Let us know. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have the case back up and running. Carrie's like, well, thank you, can't sir. You know, he wants me to drop screws. I didn't drop screws, Carrie. I'm really sorry. I was not clumsy at the end, even though I thought I was going to be. And we are in.
slide in.
Yes, it does.
Cool. Wait. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Woo.
Thank you, NZXT, for
Thank
including
you.
these thumb screws that don't fall off when you.
Yes. So Harry can't win prizes. That's basically blame NZXT for you not winning a shirt, Harry, because they make screws that don't fall out. You see.
Cool. Well, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Should we just turn this bad boy on with just some power so we can get some cool shots?
That's cool. Sounds good. Okay, let's show you there. I don't know if we have the LED strip on. It doesn't look like we do at the moment.
See.
Okay. But there we go, guys. There's our very nice looking case. I'm going to caution tempered glass, handle with care. We've learnt this now.
After not handling it with care.
Yeah, after not handling with care. Should have maybe read that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
We can get that off with a little bit of alcohol, or if you don't have alcohol, some deodorant.
Or Mr. Min as well. Mr. Min works a charm.
I don't know that.
Yeah, Mr. Min is a legendary. Sorry about that section over there. So yes, there we go, guys. That is the NZXT H510 Elite build. Marco's going to be very happy with his new PC. I think it looks very nice, very clean inside, lots of airflow with his two 140mm fans. Being very careful with it when moving it because it does have.
Any chance you can show me the front?
Yes, of course. Let me show you the front.
Put it to the side. It's okay.
Cool. Let me just make sure. Not doing that.
Oh, it's a screw.
Oh, the screws. Harry can still win. You can still win. Let me move everything out the way.
Oh, look how good this looks.
And there's the front. Oh, there we go.
Sure.
There it is. A bit of B-roll shots for you guys at home. Yeah, those fans look nice. I've got a square like.
That's super classy. We missed.
Oh, we did. Which side was it? This side. Oh, near man.
Yeah.
Cooker looks. I'm gonna fix that. We can't have that. We got to.
Sexy fans for now.
Sexy fans.
And these fans were included in the case, eh?
Yes, they come with the case. Two 140s and one 120 on the back.
Man, that looks cool.
Okay, is that front better?
No. They're both out now. Oh, gotta love it. Should we see Darren's struggle face?
Go away. Leave me alone. Okay, cool. There we go. That looks better. No, that's not better. I don't know how this works. Can I come do some camera and you can come? I want to show your struggle.
All the camera work.
Okay,
Don't
yeah,
show
okay.
my struggling face.
I want to do the struggling face. Struggling face is the best.
Man, I'm short. Why is this?
Okay, and here's Brendan's struggling face. There we go. Let me actually focus on his struggling face.
In. Ah, not in.
Not in. See.
I actually really dig this mechanism because I at first thought it was a swing door system.
Viewers can't really see, but I want to focus on these fans. I'm going to just zoom in there on the gloriousness that is the fans. I'm a fan of these fans.
Ah, dropping the puns.
Oh my word. My kids are going to love me. That's all. Dad jokes for the win. Cool. There's Brendan's happy face that he managed to get it done. Okay.
Cool. Nice one.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to come back.
Is this when we do the whole...
Yeah, look at us. Okay, guys. It is pretty much 22. We finished with some time to spare because we're just that good at PC building. Not really at all. Just a couple of tips. I hope that did help you when it comes to building a PC from scratch if you've never done it before or just wanted to know extra tips. It's always good to get other people's views on it. Yummy's like, hello, this is new. Yes, Yamakati, where were you?
Where were you?
You just missed a whole PC build. It is very new. We've got Harry saying, fine, I'll blame them this time. Jan Christian says, I have a Thermaltake View 71 RGB case.
Oh, awesome.
That's great. I'm really glad because Thermaltakes make also some really nice cases. There's a lot of case manufacturers out there, guys. I personally have never owned an NZXT case, but I definitely think my next build will be one.
I think so too.
Because this is quite exceptional.
I hope you enjoyed it, guys. As much as this was a case showcase, we did want to kind of teach you guys how to build a PC because not many people know how to do it. It's scary. And a lot of people are like daunted by the task and then end up paying PC shops to do it, but you really can do it yourself.
And if you ever need help, you can always contact us at the 404. We are open to that.
We love doing this stuff, so.
Yeah, and like I say, Glitch does cover a lot of PC content, whether that be games or new hardware that comes out. So keep a lookout on our pages always. If you have not already, please go and like and subscribe to our YouTube page. That's the 404 on YouTube, and go and subscribe/like our page there on Facebook as well. And go and like glitch.africa. That's what got you here in the first place. So make sure you go and like them
also,
and check
guys,
out all their content.
Check out NZXT and go see their case lineup because they have a lot more fantastic ones than these. And this one.
Yeah, and this one as well. I liked it. It's very nice. Okay, but we're going to go because it is getting late. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I'll be here for the next one. He said, I did. Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be here for the next one. Thanks, Carrie. Cool. Jan's like, shop. Thank you very much. Awesome. We shall see you on the next one. The shirt, whoever won it, will be emailed in the comments. So we'll mail you to drop off your pink shirt. But awesome, guys. We shall see you next week, same time, same place on the 404. That's next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. every time. Shall see you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.